Hello, all you legends and legendinas. That's female legends. More Twitter news, more Twitter news. We have curation team, human rights team, ethics, transparency, and accountability team have all been fired. Fired! Yesterday was my last day at Twitter. The entire human rights team has been cut from the company. I do not even know what a human rights team is. I am enormously proud of the work we did to implement the UN guiding principles on business and human rights to protect those at risk in global conflicts and crises, including Ethiopia. Looks like Elon Musk fired the entire curation team. What does a curation team do? Well, I guess they curate. They curate what content you get to watch, according to them. These were the folks who tackled misinfo, contextualized conversations via the Explore page, and helped make Twitter an unmatched source for breaking news. Was that stuff entirely necessary? That's the question. That is the question. This will make Twitter noisier, more dangerous, and less interesting. I don't know about that. I think if you have more craziness, then it might be more interesting. It might be more. It's already been more interesting lately. The entire ethics, transparency, and accountability team at Twitter is gone, if you want a sense for where the site's headed. Yep, team is gone. The team that was researching and pushing for algorithmic transparency and algorithmic choice. The team that was studying amplification. The team that was inventing and building ethical AI tools and methodologies. All that is gone. Okay, fine. But then when we go to what Twitter, or what, Mr. Twitter, Mr. Elon Musk is saying. He is saying, regarding Twitter's reduction in force, unfortunately, there is no choice when the company is losing over $4 million a day. Okay, everyone exited was offered 3 months of severance, which is 50% more than legally required. Which brings me to Lisa Bloom, who is talking about suing Elon, but I'll get to that in a second. So when you're losing $4 million a day, and then you have people saying things like the curation team is gone and this is going to make it more dangerous and less interesting, you're going to have to make some cuts to at least break even here. And that sounds like a team that may or may not be important, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of how he's doing it, if it's good or not good, maybe he should have spread it out, the firings spread out or whatever. There's a good chance that a lot of people working at Twitter just weren't necessary. Either way, even if they were, you kind of have to cut costs, right, to make some money. If you're losing $4 million a day, that's a problem. You have to make some very strong decisions to be able to turn that around. Elon Musk, of course, has been posting. Again, to be crystal clear, Twitter's strong commitment to content moderation remains absolutely unchanged. In fact, we have actually seen hateful speech at times this week decline below our prior norms, contrary to what you may read in the press. So we're getting a couple of different opinions here. We're getting opinions from people who have been fired saying, well, what's going to happen? If the trust and safety team and the curation teams have been fired, it's going to be noisier. There's going to be a whole lot more hatred and hateful speech and whatnot. But Elon is saying, well, no, actually, that's not the case. So I haven't seen any numbers from either of them. So who do I believe? I don't know. But I just believe that I don't know. I don't think that things are going to become a whole lot worse. I think it's just going to be pretty much the same moving forward. And then he talks about his Hyperloop. So I guess he's testing his Hyperloop tunnel thing, which I haven't heard of for, it feels like years, but could just be months. Power to the people. Trash me all day, but it'll cost $8. Yeah, well, I actually just signed up for Twitter Blue, and it's still $4.99. I asked Elon if I could get grandfathered into the $5 price point. He has not responded, so we'll see. All right, so going back to what Elon said about firing everyone. Everyone exited was offered 3 months of severance, which is 50% more than legally required. So now let's go to Lisa Bloom, who's talking about suing. Hey, Twitter employees getting laid off tomorrow. And this was yesterday, so they're getting laid off today, supposedly. Important info from a California employed attorney, me. The WARN law, WARN, requires Twitter to give you 60 days notice of a massive layoff. A layoff of 50 plus employees within a 30-day period qualifies. I hope you didn't get that notice. Or I know you didn't get that notice. Now, actually, it seems like if we go and look at the letters that were sent through the email. So these were apparently the emails sent to everyone, whether they were fired or whether they were safe. And basically, they say you're fired or you're not fired. And it's saying you will remain. So today is your last working day at the company. This is if they're fired. However, you will remain employed by Twitter. Okay, so they have not been fired. They're still employed and will receive compensation and benefits through your separation date of February 2nd. So they have what seems to be lawful termination here, according to the very little I know, which is not much. But it says, while you are not expected to work during the non-working notice period. So basically, they're still employed. They're just told not to work. So they're getting paid still employed. But basically, their job right now is to do nothing. So if we're going off of this email, then it sounds like if someone received the "you're fired" email, they're not actually fired. They are actually still employed. They're still getting paid. They're just told to not do anything. Their job is to do nothing. Do not come in. Do not do any work. We are paying you to do nothing at Twitter. Okay, so that is according to this, and they have they're going to be paid till February 2nd, which is, what is it, November, December, January, February. So that's 3 months, right? 90 days. And here we have Lisa saying, important info, the WARN law requires Twitter to give you 60 days of notice of a massive layoff. So they've been given 90 days notice of they will be laid off in 90 days, but they are still employed as of now. So it sounds like Lisa doesn't really have anything to go off of here. She continues, a layoff of 50 plus employees within a 30-day period qualifies. The WARN law applies to all California employers of 75 plus employees, which obviously includes Twitter with its thousands of employees. Purpose of the law is to give laid off employees time to figure out how to handle the disruption. And Elon completely ignores it. Except it sounds like he hasn't. Employers like Twitter who violate the WARN Act face civil penalties of $500 a day for each violation. That's a lot. With thousands of employees, this could be significant, though maybe not to Elon. Employees laid off in violation of the WARN Act receive back pay at the employee's final rate or 3-year average of compensation, blah, blah, blah. This is just more details about the WARN Act. Twitter will be liable for all of these penalties, attorney's fees, blah, blah, blah. She wants a class action lawsuit. California's strong anti-discrimination laws applies to Twitter, so there might be certain additional things going on if there were women, people of color, women, older workers disproportionately chosen. And then she's worried that Twitter's gonna take her post down, which I don't think so. So she's going on and trying to get people on board with this. I guess the question is, what does the law say as far as like what is considered the layoff? Is the layoff telling them they will be laid off, which sounds like is what the email was, or is the layoff actually when they are actually fired, which will be apparently in about 90 days. So the devil's in the details here. My guess is that Elon probably thought about all this. He's had several different businesses in California, so he's most likely knows employee law, and he seems to be a smart person. So I doubt that anything's going to come of this, but I'm going to keep watching this Lisa Bloom person to see if anything does come. So she's going on about other things. She's basically, it seems like she is, looking for ways that she could sue Elon and or Twitter. So obviously if she can get some sort of a big, suit going here, she could make a lot of money. So she has that incentive. But at the same time, it is good to fight for victims, as she says in her little bio here, discrimination, harassment, abuse, etc. So that's a good thing. I don't know anything about her. I'm guessing she doesn't like Elon based off of this. as well as she probably has motivation to, since this looks like an opportunity where she could, you know, have a big suit against a big company and make some money. So here's a specific message. Woke up to no Slack, Gmail, Office access, and laptop remotely wiped out. Got fired without even a confirmation email while sleeping. There's always a new low. But again, if, you know, maybe it's in his spam, we don't know. And then she says precisely the cruelty of the Warren laws ban. Again, if it's according to the emails that we just read, the firing email, it sounds like he's going to be getting paid for the next 3 months. So is that firing? Is that not firing? That's my question. Again, the email here says today's your last working day at the company, but you'll remain employed. So again, I don't know. It doesn't look like they're fired. It looks like they're just not, their job right now is to not work. Anyway, that's about it for today. I just wanted to go over those emails and what's going on with Twitter. Check out my last video where I talked about Twitter also. I'm just doing it every day, basically, okay? As long as there's news about Twitter, I'm interested and I'll be talking about it. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.